Yes.
And there are things where characters enter the movie just to do one thing to make everything more convenient.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you'll see there's one scene where, you know, Mark Wahlberg and Denzel Washington are at odds, and then a henchman wakes up from being dead for 1 second just to shoot out a window and cause a distraction,
and then
dies
right away.
It's like, it's not even like, that could have been worth it if one of them killed that henchman, but no, he just comes back, shoots something, and dies again.
He literally stands up, fires the gun, and then Mark Wahlberg drives off, and then he just falls.
It's like at that point it became a Friday the 13th movie. It's just like, this guy just showed up to add to the body count and help our character for a second. Like, yeah.
My name's Ryan Wright.
And I'm Jerry.
Welcome to Reasons to See.
We give you reasons to see.
And not to see.
2 guns.
Let's make it rain.
Reason to see number 1. Mark Wahlberg. I'm in this movie, okay? Alright, Denzel Washington? It's Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg is the best thing in this fucking movie. There's not a lot of best things in this movie, but he is the best thing in this movie.
He is.
He's like the wacky character, you know?
They're both kind of the guy who doesn't play by the book, but he's the guy who doesn't play by the book more.
And he doesn't understand people, and he's very expressionate.
Yeah.
And he does it in the Mark Wahlberg fashion.
Yeah,
and,
he's got that attitude.
Yeah, he's like tough but sensitive, you know?
Tough but charming, yeah, and he's you know, witty and stuff. So.
Yeah, he's funny. He's funny. He's like the Martin Riggs of this movie, except he's a supporting character. Reason to see number 2. Mark Wahlberg and Denzel Washington finally together. The best moments in this movie were when these two were on screen together, which it should be reason to see number 1.
It should be, but it doesn't happen quite enough.
Yeah,
Get that way.
Exactly. There should have been more of this in the movie.
Whenever Mark Wahlberg and Denzel Washington are sharing the screen together, playing off each other at odds with one another, that's when the movie is the most fun, and it's when everything works the most.
Yeah, it's one of the few times where the script makes sense, and they elevate really bad dialogue. It's fantastic how they work together. They manage to still bring good performances out of it. Only Mark Wahlberg can pull off a fart joke in a serious movie.
Reason to see number 3, Denzel Washington.
Apparently this like 55-year-old, it's about 50-year-old actors now being badasses.
Denzel Washington doesn't age ever.
No, he doesn't, right?
Since Training Day, he just stopped. It's over. He's just gonna stay with some ambiguous age forever.
He's good at these action movie roles. He's really good at them, and he's a badass again. He's always a badass. He's got the best walk ever. And he's like walking on the cloud or something.
It's like a swagger.
Yeah, he's got swag, man. Dude, Denzel, shit, dude. Suck your dick. Reason to see number 4, the score. Dude, this movie has some of the coolest fucking music ever. This movie does not deserve the music it gets, but it's some really cool music. Well, it's like a western-y kind of rock and roll.
It seems like the music supervisor thought they were making a different movie.
Yeah.
It's got that like kind of slinky, sort of groovy, you know, heist movie, kind of westerny music, you know.
Yeah.
Whether or not it makes sense, it's all groovy.
It only fits when Denzel Washington and Mark Wahlberg are just walking.
Exactly. It's the only time when most anything works in this movie. Reason to see number 5, cinematography.
I like the cinematography of this a lot. It's kind of like, it reminds me of a lot of like watching a Steven Soderbergh picture in a lot of ways. Mm-hmm. It's got kind of that, you know, like the long shots and everything like that, and the wide angles, and just the way it looks kind of looks like a Soderbergh movie sometimes. Not all the time. But it's damn good cinematography. Yeah,
it looks good. You know, it's captured well enough.
Yeah, it's framed good.
And I mean the way they shoot some of those, you know, more actiony, especially when people are getting hit directly with things or cars are crashing, like that stuff all looks great.
Yeah, there was some really cool cinematography. It's just the movie didn't make much sense. Reason to see number 6, some of the action. Motherfucker. That was unnecessary.
You got really...
That was unnecessary.
You got passionate about that.
That's a strong swear word.
I don't think anyone was like, you know, doubting you.
Some of the action, and this movie's not filled with action like you might believe it is. It is mainly a lot of weird stuff, but the action at times is pretty sweet.
Yeah, well, and the thing I noticed about this movie is that there are a number of times where things happen, and I don't do this like, you know, on purpose. It's just like someone will get hit. You know, like they hit Mark Wahlberg with a bat at one point. And I was like, oh, like I actually made a physical noise during a lot of these action scenes, especially on hits. You know, it's like cars crash into each other, or the way they shoot. You know, some people get shot.
That's something I admired about it. It was that it felt violent, and it somehow fit for this movie. But when you watch the trailer, you're not expecting a violent movie. Mark Wahlberg and Denzel pull it off incredibly.
They do. They do.
Gosh, Riggs and Murtaugh, you are back. Reasons not to see. That damn trailer spoils too much.
Ugh.
So,
for the love of God, don't watch the trailer if you're interested in this movie.
The trailer is basically based off the last 40 minutes of this film, and this is like a 2-hour flick or something like that.
Here's the problem. I feel like the trailer was edited in a very short-sighted way. It's like, I know you gotta pitch what's interesting about your movie and get butts in seats, but you have to think past opening weekend, because the problem is, the trailer gives away pretty much all of the movie's big surprises. You can't make a trailer that gives away all the big surprises and then have a movie that doesn't play itself like you know those surprises. So it's like the movie comes undone when you know that, because then you're just waiting for those information bits to come out.
Yeah, you know, when you watch this trailer, you think by Act 2 it's going to be like, oh, did you know that Sergeant Murtaugh is Sergeant Murtaugh, and you know that Officer Riggs is Officer Riggs, and you think they team up and they're going to work together to take down whatever bad guys they're trying to take down, and that doesn't happen until like 80 minutes into the film.
Reason not to see number 2. Weird tone?
The tone is the strangest thing about this fucking thing.
Yeah, a little bit.
How we both felt. We said it to each other in the theater.
Yeah.
It was like the same exact thought.
Yeah.
It felt like every scene,
like every 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, was being written by another writer.
Yeah, exactly.
Like someone else was replaced every single 10 minutes or something. It didn't know what it wanted to be.
I've never been in a movie, or at least I can't recall one, where I have flipped back and forth so frequently between laughing because I'm supposed to be, because the movie's getting it right, and laughing because I don't quite understand what they're trying to do.
Well, the truth be told, like, the only wit really comes from when Mark Wahlberg and Denzel Washington are, like, bantering, but that could be fucking improv for all we know.
Yeah, exactly.
Reasons up to scene number 3. Weird dialogue. The CIA. The CIA. The CIA.
That one fucking scene was like, so the CIA is in on this? Yeah, it's the CIA. The CIA? Yes, the CIA.
Sometimes in the same scene it was like, did someone like write for one character and the other one wrote for another character?
Yeah.
Like they just, like, where'd this joke come from out of nowhere from this guy? And sometimes the dialogue was just so like, simple.
But see, the problem with that specific scene is that didn't feel like a joke to me. It felt like somebody wrote that exchange between those characters and didn't intend it to be funny. Because you could make that work in a funny way, but it's like, it felt like someone took a break to go, the audience needs to understand this. Can you say it a few more times?
Yeah, sometimes it's like super expositional, and then other times it's like, yeah, we're just saying this to pass the information along, you know?
Reason not to see number 4. James Marsden.
I like this guy.
Never thought you'd be saying that.
But not in this fucking movie. He I think was the worst actor in this film. James Marsden he's supposed to be like, you know, one of the villains. Never cast him as a villain again. He just cannot pull this off.
Or at least don't do it the way they did it in this movie, because the problem is they make him look nerdier than you've ever seen him.
Yeah, he's like way skinnier than Mark Wahlberg and stuff.
And then they play him off like he's supposed to be the douchebag frat boy who's giving you know our plucky heroes a hard time. And then you're like, how did this guy ever become a high-ranking military officer?
Just an annoying douchebag bully. Like, and he just people laugh sometimes at lines that he said seriously. Asshole. Reason not to see number 5. Paula Patton.
I've seen her in other things. I like her in other things. I liked her in Mission Impossible 4, but she's a different actress in this movie.
You fucked up, man. You're just like, you're working with Denzel, and I was like, are you acting for Fast and Furious 7? Like, what the hell are you doing?
Exactly. Again, she was the only character in this movie who distracted me in the sense that I just didn't think she gave a good performance for whatever movie she was trying to be in.
Yeah, she was
like,
horrible. You let us down, Paula Patton. We all had high hopes for you when we watched this, but you see her tits, and that was great.
She's a very attractive woman.
Yeah. There's one shot when they cut into the next scene, and she just turns, and her tits are there, and that's all you see. And then that's how they introduce the next scene.
But they're perfectly covered by hair.
Yeah.
Which
the nipple slips out.
Yeah, but then it was like, are you trying to be PG-13 about this one?
Yeah. Yeah. Why?
Again, what are you trying to do?
She has good nipples. Reason not to see number 6. The actors thought they were in a different movie. Now when we say that, we mean that each individual actor thought they were in a different movie.
As we've established before, Mark Wahlberg and Denzel Washington, same movie. Everybody else, different movies. Not just a different movie, different movies.
I think Bill Paxton thought it was Gangster Squad 2 or something.
Yeah, Bill Paxton comes in and every scene he's in, he is gnawing all over the scenery. It's like there are teeth marks on every print of this film because of how much...
I'm a villain.
Yeah, I'm a villain, but sort of not.
Yeah, I'm a bad guy. That's all I gotta say.
Crooked.
I'm crooked.
I'm gonna shoot you in the knees. And then you have like Edward James Olmos, who is playing more of a... He could have been in Snitch. Then you've got James Marsden, who's doing his like frat boy, just I'm a dick thing.
Yeah.
And then you have Paula Patton, who is in Fast and the Furious 7, like you said. And then you've got all these like other supporting cast. It's like the henchmen are right out of like a 90s action movie.
Sometimes you would just hear like an actor say like a line, and he had one line in the movie or one word, and it was like, you picked the worst person to say that one word.
Yeah, a little bit.
There's this one moment, and I think you're gonna notice it, where this blonde extra, this featured extra, walks out of an elevator. And it was so obvious that this extra was probably picked on set, and she felt, this is my chance to show my acting talent.
That actress was also in a different movie, and it was a movie that she was apparently starring in.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know. Nothing is consistent. Reason not to see number 7. Writing and directing.
These guys just didn't know what they were really doing. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of
just called Two Guns.
I counted hundreds of guns in this.
Yeah. There's only one time there are 2 guns that come together on the screen.
You could have called this like, 2 grenades, and that would have worked because I think there are only like 2 grenades, or like 2 explosions. There 4, but yeah, there's like hundreds of guns in this movie, and it's mostly stuff we've talked about already, but. Nothing is consistent. Some stuff works, but...
Fuck you guys.
Yeah, it's like...
Not you guys. I like you guys for watching us.
Thank you.
I'm talking about the writing, all 47 writers on this film, and all 47 directors that worked on this film.
Yeah, I mean, and for me it's not even a fuck you, it's just like a... What?
Like, there's a lot of unintentional laughter and a lot of going on.
Yeah, kind of just as much as there is intentional laughter.
And as formulaic as it was kind of confusing the first 30 minutes.
Yeah, it's kind of confusing. You're like, but why?
Like, why are they doing this? Why? Ryan's consensus. Mark Wahlberg and Denzel Washington are probably the only reasons to watch Two Guns. Mark Wahlberg and Denzel Washington are probably the only reasons to watch Two Guns. Like, the score is cool, but you could just like download it. Cinematography's cool, but it doesn't save the movie. But the only thing memorable about it are these two. Thank you guys.
Jerry's consensus! You know what, man? You're absolutely right. Mark Wahlberg and Denzel Washington are the reason to see Two Guns. Mark Wahlberg and Denzel Washington are the reason to see Two Guns. They're the only consistent part of this movie, and at the end of it, you're kind of like, I would watch these characters again.
Alright guys, it's us again. 1 second later. How you doing? Hope you didn't miss us for too long. Why don't you go ahead, scroll that comment box below, and I forgot to say thank you, and tell us, what is your favorite buddy movie of cops? Buddy cop movie.
And once you're done with that, if you want to check out more episodes of Reasons to See, why don't you come over here and click this link.
When you're done with that, why don't you go click on this button right here to follow us on Twitter. Yes, I know you want to. We'll tweet you back. We'll do shout outs for you. Oh, dang. Joe, how you doing?
Joe.
Yeah, how you doing, Joe?
Joe.
I hope that's your name. I'm gonna go back to the comments and remember. Okay. And why don't you click on this link to like us on Facebook? And we'll like you back. We'll like you. We won't actually do any button stuff, but we'll like you.
I already like you guys.
Yeah.
Just in general.
How do you like me now? How do you like me now? This would have been the third Mark Wahlberg movie to have that if they had that song.
It could have had that.
It could have had it. They could have pulled it off all the music they had.
Yeah, exactly.
How do you like me now?
And once you're done with all that, and you want to get updated every time a new review or a video is out, subscribe.
Subscribe to the Two Guns right here.
Two Guns.
Yeah, we're the Two Guns.
We are the Two Guns.
They should have called us the Two Gun Show.
Yeah, you get 2 tickets to the Two Guns.
Yeah, I bought 2 tickets for 2 guns, and I didn't give that ticket away to someone else. Both tickets were for me.
Really?
Yeah, man.
Why?
I wanted to.
Why didn't you pay for this movie twice?
Because it's 2 guns, so buy 2 tickets,
okay.
you're okay.
I think I have your credit card. There you go.
Oh yeah, you did. You took my credit card
When
we got that pretzel and popcorn.
She really put a lot of work into that pretzel because she went all the way down the counter. It's a really long counter, and I was like, "What is going on?" Like, because usually you get popcorn and a drink or whatever. It's like, here you go. But she disappeared for like 4 minutes.
You ate that?
And I looked down the aisle and she was like, sprinkling things on it and wrapping it up, and I was like,
What?
"Wow!"
Flame occurred because she was frying it in a pan.
Yeah, it's like, we don't make it till you order it. And I was like, you were really putting lots of TLC into this, but the trailers have already long since started.